So until next time, I'm Steve Thomas with This Old House.
Hey boys, that's a wrap.
All right, another one down, Norm. You ever get sick of it?
No way, Steve. Every This Old House project
There's nothing like the romance of flames dancing in a fireplace. Now you can transform your old wood-burning fireplace into a clean, efficient gas fireplace using a fireplace insert kit. It's a very doable project and we'll show you exactly how it's done step by step. Then we'll top off the new fireplace with a handsome oak mantel shelf. It's coming your way right now on Weekend Handyman. Welcome to Weekend Handyman. I'm Paul Ryan. You know, we all have fond memories about relaxing in front of a fireplace. Unfortunately, because of the mess and pollution associated with a traditional wood-burning fireplace, our homeowners have given up on this one. You can say they put some mirrors in here and some candles, but it doesn't really have the same feel. Looking into a roaring candle. Well, today we are going to eliminate those problems by installing an energy-efficient gas fireplace insert. And then we'll update the look of the fireplace by installing a new mantel shelf and replace this old undersized board that the homeowners have been living with for far too long. Now, parts of this project do require some professional assistance. We'll be calling in a chimney sweep and a plumber, but for our part of the project, we rate this a 2 on our Weekend Handyman difficulty scale. When selecting a fireplace insert, there are a lot of options. If your fireplace is old or cracked, you can get a new insert that burns wood. They're efficient, but you still have the work and the mess of wood logs. For this project, we'll skip wood burning altogether and go with a gas insert. It has a cast ceramic fiber liner that provides insulation and allows heat to radiate out into the room, making it more energy efficient. Now, let's go over a typical fireplace and chimney. The firebox is where the fire is created. The damper gets closed when the fireplace is not in use. The smoke shelf collects small amounts of rain and other debris. The smoke chamber allows smoke to mix with air and rise into the chimney. The smoke and fumes then go up through the flue, which is a liner inside the chimney made with clay tiles. And at the top, a chimney cap to keep rain out. Well, this is our friend and carpenter Beth, who's going to help us out with this project today. And Beth, I must say you look pretty relaxed today.
I am relaxed, Paul, but it's a little bit chilly over here.
That will change when we get the new insert in. Now,
Right.
when you're considering a new fireplace insert, you really want to get the largest insert that will fit into the existing fireplace. So you need to take some careful measurements. Before ordering our unit, we measured the width, the height, and the depth of the firebox. We also measured the width at the back of the firebox too, which can be narrower. Be sure to measure from brick to brick and not from the door frame. Now, when you're starting a fireplace insert project like this, it's a good idea to have your flue and chimney inspected and cleaned by a professional. As a matter of fact, some local codes may require it. We hired a chimney sweep to inspect our fireplace before we began the project. The sweep inspects the firebox and the flue from inside the house. He then goes up on the roof and attaches a fan to the top of the chimney. This creates an updraft to suck loosened soot out of the house. The sweep attaches a rotary wire brush to a drill. The spinning brush, called a roll brush, will loosen and remove any built-up creosote inside the flue. Flexible sections are added until the entire flue is clean.
It's really a good idea to have a chimney cleaned prior to a gas log insert being installed. The reason is not that they're going to have a chimney fire, but the material that's built up over the years in that flue, even just dust and cobwebs and some creosote, will tend to fall over the years. And when it falls on top of the unit, and of course that can create an odor as well as even sometimes a smoking problem. The other thing, of course, is once the insert has been installed, there's literally no way to be able to clean that flue.
A little elbow grease helps loosen any remaining rust, creosote, and soot off the firebox and the damper. A final pass with a high-efficiency vacuum gets rid of the remaining dust and debris. Now, our chimney sweep left us two bills. We've got this bill here, and then we've got this bill here. This is a duct bill. A duct got into the chimney. So it's a good idea, if you've got a conventional wood-burning fireplace, have your chimney clean once in a while. You never know what's going to get in there. Now, our new insert comes with its own doors, so we don't need these anymore, and we'll also be taking the damper out. The damper has to go to make way for the two new vent pipes on the new gas insert that will go up the flue. The damper handle is held in place with a cotter pin. Once that's removed, we can lift the damper right out. Well, here's the insert kit that we ordered. Now, this is called a Quadrifire, although there are a number of different brands of inserts that you can get. This is the one that our homeowners have chosen. When you order an insert kit, you're going to get several things. You'll get the insert itself, then you'll get the surround, and this will go in the front of the insert, and this covers the controls, ties it into the existing fireplace. It gives us that finished look that we want. Of course, you need logs for a fire, right? Look at these. They look like real logs, don't they? But this is actually ceramic fiber. These things will last forever. And then we have our vent kit. This is what we'll be starting with. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you get the directions, read, and understand them. This will make your job go a lot easier. The tools for this job are fairly basic. The usual hand and power tools and a ladder. Plus, we'll need a reciprocating saw and a power nailer. If you decide to run gas and power to the firebox yourself, you'll need a rotary hammer drill and several long carbide bits, but we'll cover those later in the show. You'll also need some non-flammable fiberglass insulation. Well, after all the prep work, we can finally get started on this project. Now, if you want more information about gas fireplaces or fireplace inserts, just head to our website. It's DIYnetwork.com. When we come back, we'll head up to the roof and start the process for installing the special flexible vent pipe that runs down the chimney to the new insert. Then we'll tackle the installation of the firebox itself. That and more when Weekend Handyman returns.
This program brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
You can turn a high traffic area into a high fashion area. No one has a more stylish selection, and no one has more carpet know-how than the Home Depot. And nobody beats our prices. Only the Home Depot has Stainmaster's new Platinum Plus collection with the industry's best warranty. Installation is guaranteed through the Home Depot. It's premium carpet that's as soft and beautiful as it is durable. You can make your home wall-to-wall wonderful. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Next week on the DIY Workshop, combating household mold. It can devastate your home and your health. Learn how to keep this from happening to you. Experts will show you what the warning signs are, where to look for mold deposits, and how to clean it up. Plus, is your home at risk? Find out with some simple tests. And what equipment you'll need for the job. Combating household mold. All next week at 6:30 Eastern on DIY Network.
Welcome back to Weekend Handyman, where we are getting ready to install a gas fireplace insert. So far, we've got about 3 hours into the project, which rates a 2 on our Weekend Handyman difficulty scale. The next thing we need to do is put up the vent cap, and that means we have to go up top. Now, up on the roof, I'll start by removing the old chimney cap. A couple of screws is usually all that holds it on. Next, I'll lower my tape measure down the flue. The goal is to get a measurement for the length of the new flexible vent that will go down inside the existing flue.
Okay, Paul, I got it.
With Beth holding the tape, I can get a reading right down into the firebox. Now, I set the flue flashing on top of the chimney and trace around it. This piece will seal the flue to keep out weather and debris. I'll cut the flashing to size, but slightly larger than the mark to ensure a good seal. Then I'll apply a bead of high-temperature silicone around the top of the flue and set the flashing in place. Well, now we're ready to start putting our vent pipes on, but before we do that, let's talk about the concept of a traditional fireplace. Now, when you put logs in a traditional fireplace and you burn them, it draws air from the inside of the house. That air goes out the chimney. That's where the energy inefficiency comes in. With the sealed combustion unit, the beauty of this is that it doesn't use any inside air, so we need to get the air from the outside. Therein lies the use for our vent cap. This goes on top of the chimney, and it's got 2 ports on it. One port from down here will draw the cold air into the unit, and then the exhaust air gets expelled through this pipe and through the top of the cap.
The next step is to assemble the vent pipe, starting from the bottom up. Because the exhaust gas is hotter by the firebox, we attach a short section of stainless steel pipe, which is more heat resistant. We'll attach the steel section using 3 self-tapping screws. Now comes the fun part. Once the 2 sections are secure, we have to stretch the expandable vent pipe to the proper length. Remember, there are 2 pipes to stretch, one for the cold air intake and one for the hot exhaust. Make sure you connect the pipe with the stainless steel extension to the exhaust side.
Well, now that we've got our vent pipes attached, we can put it down the chimney. No real easy way to do this. It takes 2 of us to haul this up. So how do you like working on heights, Beth?
It's not so bad, Paul. The view's amazing.
It is nice, isn't it?
Now I'll just drop both flexible pipes right down the flue. It's definitely a 2-person job, but with no damper, it's a clear shot all the way down to the firebox.
When working on a roof, sometimes it's best to use safety ropes and harnesses. If you have any doubts about your security, err to the side of safety.
All right, Beth, I'll take it from here if you want to head downstairs. Okay, hold on. Go slow. Okay, I'll screw it in now, Beth. Well, the only thing we need to do now is screw the cap onto the flashing with these self-tapping screws, and we're done out here. It's kind of a shame. It's a nice day out. Now, we mentioned we had a chimney sweep in earlier. We also had some plumbing and electrical work to do, so our contractor Shane's been busy. What you been up to?
Well, Paul, I started by drilling 2 holes from the firebox down into the basement. I pulled a gas line up from the basement, and I also pulled this electrical up from the basement so that we could hardwire the blower motor for this fireplace.
Okay, and then you had to drill through the concrete, use this hammer drill, and a carbide drill bit. Was this deep enough?
No, that one wasn't quite long enough. I had to go to a longer bit, and then I had to go to a longer bit still. We went to this monster here.
This is a monster. Probably not something you're going to find at a local rental center.
No, this one won't be at a rental center for sure. This one's from a specialty shop, and in this particular instance, we couldn't get by without it.
Okay, so this comes in sections?
Yes, it does. It's a sectional drill bit, and we needed 2 sections to get through here.
Okay, about 26 inches down there?
Something like that.
All right, so what's your status here?
Well, I've got to go ahead and just take my wire and my stuff. I've got a little bit of hookup to do down the basement, and for now, I'm done up here.
Okay, sounds good.
The next step is to attach the firebox insert to the 2 vent pipes. We'll do that using a plate that slides off the top of the insert. Again, we'll attach the pipe to the plate with sheet metal screws. Make sure the stainless steel section of the exhaust pipe connects to the side marked exhaust.
This insert is set up for natural gas, but can be converted to LP gas. Make sure you know what type of gas you're using so you can order the appropriate insert.
Now, before we connect the plate with the pipes to the insert, we want to insulate around the pipes where the damper was to keep any drafts out. To do this, we'll use standard non-flammable fiberglass insulation.
Well, we're in pretty good shape. The next step is to put in the insert.
We made a good start on this project. In fact, most of the really hard work is now behind us. When we come back, we'll install the firebox and hook up the gas and electrical connections. And we'll show you how to install a custom wood mantle that will really jazz up the look of your new fireplace. It's coming right up when Weekend Handyman returns.
Welcome to Floor. May I take your order?
This is my place. I'd say Floor is more dining revolution than restaurant. And I owe it all to the Bissell Flip It.
Gazpacho?
Because these floors need to be spotless. First you vacuum, then just flip it to wash and dry.
For sealed hardwood, vinyl, or tiled floors in your home, the new Flip It from Bissell.
No need for a 5-second rule here.
I hate being sold. If I want something, I'll buy it. If I don't, okay. One time I got talked into buying this linen bed skirt. It's a sales girl. But something that costs thousands of dollars? I don't want to be sold something like that. I want to choose something like that. I hate being sold. That's why I bought a Saturn.
Now most Saturn models come with 5-year, 60,000-mile extended vehicle coverage or at least a $1,000 allowance.
I don't get it. Why is it easier to take pictures
than it is to print them? Why?
or scan them? Why?
Transfer them.
Find them,
Blow them up.
clean them up. Heaven help us. Store them.
Very complicated.
Now there's a way to uncomplicate. Lexmark, our all-new home photo center, makes it easy to see, enhance, scan, and print your photos. Go to lexmark.com or these stores and see how we can help you uncomplicate.
As any military man worth his salt will tell you, the choice of artillery will vary from operation to operation. Consider a daylight maneuver with a strong civilian presence. Here you'll find the manual calls for a lighter ordnance. Mission accomplished. Sometimes the light way is the right way to live the high life.
Why did your last diet fail?
If you're over 30, overstressed, and overweight, take a look in the mirror. You've got excess body fat around your waist, hips, and belly, right? Well, diet failure is not your fault. The problem is cortisol, a nasty little stress hormone that traps excess fat around the middle. But now there's Relacor. Relacor helps control cortisol and helps us lose stubborn belly fat fast. If you're dieting and still plagued by unsightly belly bulge, even if you're low-carb dieting, there's only one Relacor. Relacor helps you get thinner, look younger, and have energy to burn. Remember, when you're over 30, overstressed, and want to get rid of stubborn belly fat, the answer is Relacor. Order Relacor now. It's easy. You'll love it.
Order Relacor risk-free. Call 1-800-884-6285. That's 1-800-884-6285. Call now. It's guaranteed.
See how people around the country are saving big bucks with do-it-yourself contracting. Carpentry to electrical to subcontracting. You don't have to be a pro to take control.
You can do this.
Real people, real projects, step-by-step instructions.
You get a great deal of satisfaction and pleasure from doing it yourself.
If you have the will, we'll show you the way. Be your own contractor. Tonight at 9:30 Eastern on DIY Network.
Welcome back to Weekend Handyman. I'm Paul Ryan. We're just starting day 2 of our project, installing a gas fireplace insert into a conventional wood-burning fireplace. So far, we've got about 6 hours into the project, which rates a 2 on our Weekend Handyman difficulty scale.
To get to this point, we measured the existing firebox to determine which size insert to order. Had the chimney cleaned by a professional chimney sweep. Attached flexible cold air intake and hot gas exhaust pipes to the vent cap and lower the pipes down the chimney. And attach the pipes to a plate, which will now connect to the firebox.
Well, now we're ready for our next big step, putting the insert into the fireplace. Once again, helping us out is our friend and carpenter Beth, and this has been a pretty easy project so far.
Piece of cake.
Now the next thing we need to do before we put the insert in is to put on these leveling legs. Here's why we need these. You can see back here, we've got the hearth and the floor of the fireplace. Now the hearth is higher than the floor of the fireplace, so we actually have to raise this insert up so it matches the level of the hearth. A lot of cases the hearth and the floor of the fireplace are the same level, so you might not need those leveling legs, but in our case, we're going to need them.
The leveling legs screw into threaded nuts built into the bottom of the insert. Set the legs to a rough height and make your final adjustments later after the box is in place.
Here's one more thing to look out for. This is called an ash dump. You sweep the ashes in here, it goes into a reservoir that needs to be cleaned out. Now the problem with that is that if your hearth is the same level as the base of your fireplace, you see this little lip here? Your insert might not clear that lip. Now we're in pretty good shape. The lip of our ash dump is below the hearth, so we will be able to clear it. But just be aware that you might have to take that cover out. All right, Beth, you ready to muscle this thing in?
Yes, I am.
Now, we can't put this all the way in because we still have to make our final gas and electrical hookups, but we can get it pretty close.
Once we get the insert roughly in place, it's time to make our gas and electrical hookups.
It is strongly recommended that you use licensed professionals to hook up any gas and any electrical. Make sure that you follow all local building codes. If you have any questions, make sure you talk to the local officials.
Well, now that the connections are made, we can slide this into place, but we want to make sure that we don't kink this gas line.
Now we can slide the insert into the firebox. You want to slide the connecting plate into the slots on top of the insert. This will bring the vent pipes into line with the holes on the insert. A handle makes it easy to pull the plate into place. And finally, secure the sliding plate to the insert with a self-tapping screw.
All right, it looks like we're a little out of level here. Let me grab that level and put it up there. And it looks like your side's got to come up or mine's got to come down.
You can adjust the leveling legs from the front of the insert. The insert does need to be level from side to side and plumb from front to back.
Well, now that we've got the insert plumb and level, we're just doing a quick test burn to make sure all the components work. And it looks like they work just fine. It's a good idea to do this before the next step, which is to load everything up, so this will start to look like a conventional wood-burning fireplace. Now we'll be adding some logs and some amber material to give it that realistic look, so we'll cool this thing down and load it up.
We'll have to remove the glass front panel before we can put in the ceramic logs. The glass is held in by 2 clips at the bottom. First thing to go in, the glowing embers. Made from mineral wool, they'll give the fire a burning coal effect. Start with dime-sized pieces near the burner ports, about a ½ inch apart. Then add more to the rest of the burner plate to give a random filled-in look. Larger pieces can be placed at the base of the burner plate so the flames will look more realistic. Next comes the mystic embers, which will appear like firewood ash. Just put this loosely around the edges. Then it's time for the ceramic fiber logs. These only go in one way, so carefully follow the instructions. Once the logs are in place, we can put the front glass panel back on.
The glass panel is gasketed to assure no room air is used for combustion and to prevent any cold air from coming down the flue and getting into the home.
Now, the last thing we need to do before we put the surround on is install the receiver for the remote control. You want to take care of that, Beth?
Yes, I can.
Now, the remote is a thermostat. It also has a push button on-off switch so you can start the fire from anywhere in the room. It's also got a timer.
Follow the instructions to hook up the radio receiver. To protect it from the heat, place it outside the firebox.
Well, it's time to put on the surround. That'll tie our insert into the existing fireplace and give us a nice, smooth transition.
The surround slips over 2 tabs on the top and then gets attached with screws at the base of the insert.
Well, the last thing to go on is this screen. Now, not only is this a decorative element, but this glass gets really hot, so this adds protection as well. It'll keep the fingers away from that glass. Make sure that you don't get burned. Well, it's time for the moment of truth. Look at that. Looks like a real wood fire. No carrying the logs, no mess, and it's energy efficient. Now, if you want more information about this project, or if you want more information about gas fireplace inserts, head to our website. It's DIYnetwork.com.
Coming up next, we'll continue upgrading this fireplace with a handsome new oak mantle. We'll show you how it's done as soon as Weekend Handyman returns.
This program brought to you by Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
We're Geldwin, and for more than 40 years, we've been making reliable windows and doors. Lifelong memories. Long life windows and doors. Doors that can take the heat, even when you can't. Guaranteed to reign, guaranteed to last. Comfort, security, dependability. Geldwin Windows and Doors. Reliability for real life.
Right now, you can stay in a select Disney Value Resort for as little as $55 per night per room. And one of our theme parks will be open a whole hour early. Now that's an offer that's hard to resist, no matter who you are. A great hotel for as little as $55 with transportation and early admission. Call now for your dream vacation.
You can turn a high-traffic area into a high-fashion area. No one has a more stylish selection, and no one has more carpet know-how than the Home Depot. And nobody beats our prices. Only the Home Depot has Stainmaster's new Platinum Plus collection with the industry's best warranty. Installation is guaranteed through the Home Depot. It's premium carpet that's as soft and beautiful as it is durable. You can make your home wall-to-wall wonderful. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Thank you, Hillshire Farm, for giving this deli guy his first vacation in 3 years.
Thank you for new Deli Select combos.
When you combine deli quality meat and cheese in one container,
You gave me a chance to relax. A chance to find balance.
and inner peace. Whoa!
Ultra-thin, deli-quality meat and cheese sealed in reusable containers. New Deli Select combos from Hillshire Farm.
Meat and cheese together in perfect harmony.
Yeah!
We're taking on the big boys. Overstock.com now has auctions, much like eBay, but with lower fees. This month, you can win $50,000 for growing your auction network. We also have hundreds of thousands of books priced below Amazon. Our online outlet has the lowest prices on the internet, guaranteed. Like I say, we're taking on the big boys. This time, get in on the ground floor. Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
Welcome back to Weekend Handyman. Well, our gas fireplace insert is done, and now we're going to top the fireplace off with this. Thanks, Beth. It's a custom mantle that our homeowners found online. Here's how it'll look. Oh, that'd be nice. Now, the first thing we need to do, take off the old mantle.
To start, we connected vent pipes to a vent cap and then lowered the 2 pipes down the chimney. We connected the pipes to the gas insert, made our gas and electrical connections, then filled the insert with burning embers and special ceramic logs. Now we're ready to tackle the new wood mantle. First, we carefully remove the existing mantle with pry bars. The old mantle is held in place with adhesive, so we'll use a reciprocating saw to free it from the fireplace brick.
When working around masonry, it's best to avoid any force that might loosen a brick. Using a reciprocating saw will save you an unnecessary repair that might cost you extra time.
Now the old mantle just lifts off. A little scraping and the old adhesive is history. We dry fit the new mantle and check for level. Perfect. The mantle attaches to the wall with angled ledger boards. To find the proper height for the ledgers, we mark the finished height of the new mantle with a pencil, then measure down 2 3/4 inches. Then we secure the ledger boards to studs in the wall.
All right, Beth, let's line this thing up. Good there?
We started with an old wood-burning fireplace the homeowners weren't using because it was too much trouble. And now we have a beautiful gas fireplace that gives the look of a real wood fire, but operates at the touch of a button. With a new, more architectural mantle, the new fireplace now becomes the warm, energy-efficient focal point for the entire room.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Paul Ryan, and we'll see you next time on Weekend Handyman.
Hi, I'm Susie. This may look like fine Italian marble, but it's faux painting, and I'm going to show you how to do it. This column was faux painted with water-based glazes and a very simple technique. I have mixed up some aqua glaze in 2 colors, a French red, the other one is an earth brown. I'm randomly putting on the glaze. There's really no proper way of doing it, just randomly getting the glaze on. Then I'm going to take just a regular bristle brush and blend the colors slightly. So I'm going to start with the plastic bag and just create a little bit of texture here and there, not all over. Then I'm going to take the sponge and do the same, create a little bit of texture. Take regular rubbing alcohol, sprinkle some on. This will create some open pits and it will make the marble look much more realistic. This is just a piece of poster board that I'm going to tear. I'm going to take a dry sponge brush, lay this onto my surface, and I'm going to push the glaze into the edge of the torn cardboard. So I get a perfect vein every time, and that's it. And we have marble. I learned a lot of these techniques through experimentation, through taking classes, but a lot of it is just trial and error. I'm Susie Goldenberg. Every column deserves a faux finish, and now you can do it yourself.